the vice president prosecuting her case for the presidency around debatable ideas, meaning debates that we can have about ideas that she's putting on the table on the economy, et cetera. Meanwhile, over in fairyland, where stupid reigns, you've got Notice reporting, it probably also shouldn't come as a surprise that Republican lawmakers are not only indifferent to the former president making these claims about eating cats and dogs, they largely support him spreading the conspiracy. Right. In interviews with more than 24 GOP lawmakers, this is what struck me about this. Republicans brushed it off. Brushed off these allegations that Haitian immigrants are stealing and eating pets in Springfield, Ohio. They didn't care that Trump's claims during a presidential debate were predictably not true. So the vice president declared, and it is true, that Donald Trump is unserious. Right. What is worse is that the people around him who should know better are just as unserious about this. How does this particular narrative, in your estimation, play out during the next few weeks of this campaign as voting starts in just one day?
So the debate was Tuesday. We are 5 days away. Are there any policies that Donald Trump mentioned that any of us are talking about? No. Everybody is talking about a racist, xenophobic lie. You have people in a town who can't send their kids to school right now, who woke up in the morning with smashed windows and graffiti. You have a sitting senator who is literally demonizing people in his own state. J.D. Vance is doubling down on a rumor about people who are, I'm sure some of those people may have actually voted for him, right? So from a narrative perspective, this is the kind of thing that makes people say, I don't really like voting for the guy. This is what I said, this is the racism that goes so far that, like, even conservative white people are like, I can't do that, right? When you've gotten to the point where Marjorie Taylor Greene is arguing with somebody else saying, okay, that's too far, right? And this is somebody whose entire political career has been about bomb throwing and dishonesty and intellectual ridiculousness, right? That is what the Trump campaign has done. What I am concerned about, quite frankly, is not that Republicans don't care. Lots of them don't care. Lots of them are going to back this up. I'm just worried about the families. I'm worried about regular people. I'm worried about the fact that the Republican mayor of Springfield is like, you have demonized our town. You have citizens in that town who have marched together to go to Haitian restaurants to show their support for that community. You are demonizing an entire group of people, white, Haitian, black, whoever is in that community, because of the rumors of a country with neo-Nazis and right-wingers. And that's the kind of thing that no American wants to be a part of, and that's one of the reasons why Donald Trump's in trouble.
It also obscures the reality that Haitians actually reinvigorated that entire town.
Right. That's the thing that
buries the positive narrative.
The killer,
Ask the gentleman who owns one of the major manufacturing centers there, who says, I wish more people like the Haitian families that have come here would come, because they have just been so helpful and such great people to work with.
And low-key shaded the local community. He's literally saying, he's like, they show up on time, they're clean, they get here. It's like, I wish we had more people like that. He literally was talking about the Haitian community as being an uplift in work quality and behavior at the job. That's why, again, J.D. Vance is a senator from Ohio. You would think the first thing he would do is to go down there, maybe talk about this, but not continue to demonize people who literally are his constituents.
The problem is they've got nothing else.
Well, yeah.
Right, in the absence of policy, or in the sort of understanding that what they do have in the way of policy, Project 2025, is not popular with the American people, what they're left to do is to stimulate hate. What I want you to do is take a listen to this from President Biden talking about the need to reject hate as a country.
He says immigrants, black and brown immigrants, poison the blood of our country. Right now, his running mate is attacking Haitian Americans in Ohio. It's wrong. It's got to stop. Any president should reject hate in America and incite, not incite it.
So this should be disqualifying. We know that it is not at this point. We've already lived through an election where we learned that lots of things that we thought would be disqualifying are not disqualifying. So then when you hear voters, having watched the debate, say, well, I need to hear more from Kamala Harris. What does that say to you?
I don't like black people. I mean, let's be honest, right? Like, first and foremost, It's one of the most disingenuous arguments you hear in politics when people say, I need to hear more policy. That's just like when you hear people say, I don't like negative ads. Yeah, but they work, right? You know that you like negative ads as long as it's attacking the people you don't like. Nobody, I don't care. And honestly, in my lifetime, one of the most substantive debates, I think, was like the second one between like Romney and Obama, which sounded like an economic class. Very rarely do you have presidential debates where people are going to sit down and bring out a chart and explain things to you like it's economics 101. What you're basically saying is, I don't trust the black lady who actually has more experience in government than almost any candidate we've had over the last 25 years. If you want to know Harris's policies, look at her website. If you want to know Harris's policies, you can listen to a debate. At the end of the day, it's really just an issue of trust. Because if the idea is policy is your driving force, well, you got 900-something pages in Project 2025. I bet you haven't read that, right? So I never buy that argument. I think her probably most successful thing that she did, I had a group of my students watch, and again, a lot of my students are first-time voters. This is their first chance. They were impressed by what they heard. And most of them are incredibly cynical about politics, but they understood when she talked about, okay, I think I know what an economic opportunity is. I think I know what it means to get $50,000 for this, that, and the other. That's what most people want.
And she seemed presidential.
Exactly. That's all you gotta have.
That's the big part of it. You used the most important word there in that, for me at least, and that's trust. I think voters, when they are looking at two individuals, one of whom they're familiar with, the new face. Now, to Simone's point, the vice president's face is not a new one because she's been doing the job on a number of levels in a number of ways, which is why she, foreign capitals, the leaders of foreign capitals say, oh, yeah, I can't wait to work with her because she is great. Why? Because they've worked with her over the last few years. So, but okay, set that piece aside. If you're going to come to the table fresh, it's an idea of trust. Do I trust you to be president? Do I see you as presidential? So to your point, when you're still saying, oh, well, I need more. I don't know what the hell more I'm going to give you. I mean, I just don't know. If I'm hitting the trust button, if I'm hitting the do I look presidential button, if I'm hitting the policies all up and down my website button, because Donald Trump is saying, well, my thing is on my website. It's not Project 20. Everybody should. So why is it different for her?
Can I say something about this, though? There is, the vice president used to give an example and tell this story that says, if you think of the phrase, when I say the phrase boy next door, an image automatically pops into your mind. And the image that probably pops into your mind is we could describe what the image of a boy next door is. Okay, there's a very particular image that could pop into everyone's mind about the boy next door. That is also the same when you say, let me describe a president to you.
Exactly.
And that is the image that pops into people's heads. It is very, I don't necessarily fault the people that say, oh, I need to hear more. But I do think people need to take a step back and say, well, ask themselves deeply, what exactly is it that you're looking for? And if at the root of it is, to Michael's point, and to Jason and Alicia and everyone's point here, is that I just don't know if I could see her as president. I don't know if I could trust her as president. I want you all to know that the lady has been the vice president of the United States of America for the last almost 4 years and twice has acted as the acting president for two very different scenarios. And I think people need to rethink what it is that we believe or who it is that we think should be in certain positions.
That's a big part. That's a big part of it.
And that's some work that we have to do as a society.
Yeah, because I raised this the other day during the debate, I believe it was, and the idea of the image that we have. You talk about the boy next door. So when you have, what's the image of a president? The image of a president is male.
A man.
And, Barack Obama kind of broke the white male image by getting elected. So now the question is the country's image of the president include a woman? And that's if they cannot see her behind the Resolute desk, that's where she's got to start to, and I think they can, but they have to be honest about that image.
I think they can. because the contrast is so ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, that's what it boils down to. I mean, she's running against somebody who arguably doesn't seem very presidential, and he had the job for several years. So it's a very different situation. But I think,
I mean, say it again. Literally had the job.
Had the job.
The man
Still doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing.
He don't even smell presidential. It's not giving presidential
at all. But I also think in 50, I don't think anyone's fundamental philosophies about race and gender are going to be changed in 50 days.
No, they're
so
not.
If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. If I'm the Harris campaign, rather than focusing on changing the mind of some 53-year-old guys like, I just don't know if a lady can do this job, rather than trying to change that person's mind, go get some 20-year-olds, right? Go get some young people who are going to be voting for the first time. Go do some more court cases in Georgia to make sure that people can turn out, because you can't change people's mind that late in the game. And I promise you, the same people who say they don't trust her, once she gets in the office, if she wins, they're going to be like, I always voted for her.
I think to that point, which is why the campaign has not leaned into race and gender in terms of the history that will be made. Obviously, everyone knows the history that will be made, but I would just argue that they are campaigning on the issues and going to get the voters on the issues and the people that are with them, and maybe some people that didn't think they were with them, but maybe they could be. I mean, it's 50-something days, so...
And
we'll see how
one day if you're in Pennsylvania.
Or one day if you're Pennsylvania.
Because that starts tomorrow, right?
There we go.
Dr. Jason Johnson.
Always a pleasure.
You were better than a cup of coffee.
I mean, spirit and kickoff, okay?
I love
Twice
it.
as dark.
Yeah, twice as dark. Okay.
It's that kind of morning.
Okay.
Take us out, Michael.
Okay. The fight for control of the House will come down to just a handful of seats. Two of those candidates hoping to flip their districts blue will join us next. And later, Mary Trump has more to say about her uncle, why she thinks he won't recover from the debate. That's coming up on The Weekend.
This bakery needs new equipment fast to keep up with demand. So they're going to OnDeck, the online lender that makes it easy to choose your loan and, if approved, get funds as soon as the same day. Your loan is on deck.
What Tractor Supply customers experience is personalized service made possible by T-Mobile for Business. With T-Mobile's reliable 5G business internet, employees get the information they need instantly. This is how business goes further with T-Mobile for Business.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
I just this morning made a new hole in my belt, so that was super exciting.
Why are women everywhere choosing Sonobello, the advanced solution for permanent fat removal?
I saw the results immediately. It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all, and my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sonobello's best offer of the year. Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
Check it out, Snatch Waist. Loving the results. It will change your life. It did for me.
Call 1-800-497-1509 now or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
Innovation in healthcare means nothing if no one can afford it. At Evernorth, we're helping to unlock barriers. Using our 35-plus years of pharmacy benefits management experience to save businesses billions while boosting medication adherence. Helping plan sponsors and their members be at their best. That's Wonder, made possible. Evernorth Health Services.
That grimy film on your teeth.
Dr. G?
It's actually the buildup of plaque bacteria, which can cause cavities.
Most toothpaste quit working in minutes, but Crespo Health's antibacterial fluoride protects all day.
They stop cavities before they start.
Crest.
We need a small business loan fast.
I got this.
Loan Falcon!
There's a better way to get a fast small business loan. Go to OnDeck.com, and if approved, get your funds as soon as the same day. Your loan is on deck.